How's it going, folks, and welcome back. It's episode number 61 of Park 2 Primera, and last episode we had the Champions League first knockout round. Today, we have the quarterfinals. We are one step away from where we got to last year, where of course we got knocked out against Man City, our opposition for today's episode. It had to be, didn't it? It had to be. Manchester City, Champions League. It's a rematch, and of course their key player is Erling Haaland. I mean, it just had to be, didn't it? Now, a lot has happened since you were last here, but let's talk about the fixtures first and foremost. And well, since that game against Benfica, you can see here we've gone on a good little run of form. We beat Sociedad in our first of these games, 3-0. Took a long time for us to get going in this game. They did absolutely nothing throughout, just a singular shot. At the end of the day, a good team performance. And Bryan Gil, again, putting in a really good display, like a really, really good display, to the point where I feel like I want to sign him permanently. The concern, I suppose, would be, is he worth £33 million, which is his current valuation? I don't think we have an option to buy in his loan. It would have been smart to negotiate that at the time, wouldn't it? No, you can see here. Oh, actually, no, there is an optional future. There is a... Past Jack was more intelligent than I give him credit for. 26 million. Is he a 26 million pound player? I mean, when you look at his attributes, absolutely not. But his performances this year, particularly in the league, have been really, really solid. I mean, it's a dilemma. It's not a dilemma for today, though, is it? You can let me know down in the comments if you would sign him for that price. The other games that we had were against Getafe, where, as you can see here, a dramatic win, a 93rd minute penalty. You know what? We have to watch it. Let's give it a look. Siapina steps up, smashes it into the bottom corner, and that was a pretty good penalty in a rather high-stakes moment. We needed to win this game. The fact we did win was huge, and we followed it up with a 2-1 win against Sevilla. Again, Siapina from the penalty spot. He got another from open play. This man, he's quite a good footballer. Unfortunately, he's not quite as good as Lukaku yet, at least when it comes to goal scoring. 22 goals to his name. Lukaku leading the way with 23 in the league. Pablo Torre, though, just bossing the average ratings, where he's also got 19 assists. He's been quite a good player for us. Last episode, everyone in the comments was talking about the fact he got to 20 vision. It's gone back down to 19 now. Shame. So looking at the league table and how things are looking, you can see in their recent run of games, Barcelona actually drew against Elche. That is not a game I expect them to slip up in. As a result of that, the top three teams are now separated by 4 points. We are only a couple of points away from ensuring a Champions League spot for next year, which is great. But perhaps most notably, we are still unbeaten. 10 draws. It's a little more than I'd like, but 0 defeats. We've only conceded 21. Defensively, we've really taken things up a level this year, which is great with our young defence. We've also scored the most goals in the league. I mean, just purely on those stats alone, you'd say that we deserve to win the league. In terms of our games to end the year, we've not got too many super tricky ones. I think the most notable game here is against Atleti. If we look at the past meetings, we've had good runs against them. We've also had horrific runs against them. As of late, we've won the last 2 meetings, including one in the Super Coppa already just a few months ago. As for our opposition, you can see here, looking at Barcelona's remaining games, they've got a game against Real Madrid going on. That's actually going to take place in 3 days' time. They're also juggling the Champions League, so we are going to hope that they can slip up there. Who knows? By the second leg of today's episode against Man City, we could be back at the top of the table. Now, in terms of youth intake, we had it come through and we had some really good players come in that we need to talk about. The first we have is Gigante. I hope that is Spanish for giant. That's all I can really say. It'd be kind of ironic because he's not that tall at 174 centimetres. He's not gigantic. He's a very normal-sized human. But what I would say is he's a very good centre mid. Very well-rounded. Physical's maybe a little wobbly, but got potential. We'll keep an eye on him. I think the player who I'm more excited about is actually Mong here. Mongi? Answers on a postcard, I don't know. He is quick, really good determination. Doesn't have the most well-rounded of skill sets, but for a winger, not really lacking anything except the off the ball, which I think we can work on. At 15, loads of time to develop. No one came through this youth intake who was kind of ready to get plonked into the B team right away, but some players with some alleged long-term potential. The only other player who I think is worth talking about is Mikel Light, who is quite light at 60 kilograms. Light by name, light by nature. He is another one of these super quick, kind of semi-technical wingers who can also play as a striker. Looks a little way away from the first team, if I'm being completely honest. But I was told by my head of youth development that I should be excited about the group, so let's hope that they've got more potential than they've got current ability, because right now, there ain't anyone who's particularly exciting me. In terms of team news for today's game, we are going into this game at full strength. One man I do feel like we need to talk about is Sandro Tonali. He has come in and he's looked very good so far. For £13 million, I was expecting a pretty good return, especially with his wages. Average rating of 7.25 is really, really high for a box-to-box midfielder in FM21. You can see by comparison Blanco, who of course played the same role and position prior to Tonali's arrival, nowhere near in the average rating department. So very impressed by Tonali. Elsewhere, Bryan Gil is going to start for us out on the left-hand side today. We are at home against Man City. We had this fixture last year against Man City where we took them on first and we got a great result. Hoping we can do more of the same today, give ourselves a platform, so at least going into the away leg, we have a little bit of hope. So looking at the Man City team here, Ederson, Ruben Diaz, Laporte at the back, Nuno Mendes as well. They've got a good little team. Oliver Skipp seems like an odd one out. Neves, Silva, Sterling, Vinicius Jr. and Erling. Now, the one positive I can take about the fact we lost to them last time out, Man City, is I can tell the players to avenge what happened previously, which, as we all know, is the most overpowered team talk in Football Manager. So I think the big important thing here in this first leg is let's give ourselves a platform to get a result away from home. We need to win, I think, this leg to stand any kind of chance. If we could look good defensively, which for the most part we have looked good defensively this year, that would be a big, big bonus. If we can limit them to not scoring an away goal, that, you know, gives me what I need, I feel like. I say that. I said all of this last year. There's an air of deja vu to this all, isn't there? Having been knocked out to Man City after we beat them in the first leg previously. But I stand by it. I think we're a better team than we were last year. We've got a young squad. We've developed a lot over the last 12 months. And, well, I think we can gauge how much we've progressed as a team, perhaps, based on how we perform here. As, of course, Avramidis is out on the right today with Bryan Gil on the left. Avramidis, probably don't love him as a winger, to be honest, as he shoots wide. And I don't think he enjoys playing there. He is a striker, of course, by nature, who we've kind of trained to play in the wide attack in mid-areas. That said, he's done a very, very good job out on the right-hand side, particularly at times where Jonathan Martinez hasn't really lived up to expectations. But anyway, we're going to have some defending to do here, and it's Man City on the near side. Now with Ruben Neves, edge of the box to Bernardo Silva. Vinicius Jr. hits wide. Both teams have highlights in the opening of this game. Both teams looking like they want to get a goal. Half an hour gone here. Bernardo Silva, free kick in the wide area. Whipped in, but headed away. Now with Nuno Mendes, who plays it forward to Vinicius Jr. Options queuing up in the middle. We get the ball away from he who should not be named. Now can Avramidis spring the counter-attack. Not today. Not with a tackle like that flying in. Galarreta gets it forward. Sierpina flicks it on. Ruben Neves to Nuno Mendes. They've got lots of Portuguese players in their team, this Man City squad. It's like Wolverhampton Wanderers Mark II Electric Boogaloo. I mean, to be fair, they're good players. I don't think they've signed them because they're Portuguese. They've signed them because they're pretty scary, as is this man. And he scored. I can't say his name. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. Editing Jack does not like it. It's like Voldemort in Harry Potter. You know, they're not allowed to say Voldemort. I don't say his name around Editing Jack. He doesn't take well to it. But that man who probably should be named but won't be has just scored 1-0. He scored a hat-trick against me last time, didn't he? I'm getting deja vu. We've been here before. At the break, 1-0 Man City. I feel like we've been a little unlucky in this game. We started well, maybe fizzled out a little bit as the half went on, but ultimately we more than matched them there, and it's just one chance they've crafted out, one chance that they've taken that they've ended up finishing. What I would say is we have to score now. At least one, probably two, to stand any kind of chance here. Talked about the importance of not conceding away goals. Now that's happened. We have to get something here. We need to set ourselves up with at least a little bit of hope going into the second leg. And, well, we're already 15 minutes into the second half. I'm going to have to weigh up making changes. But we'll let Sierpina get his noggin on something first. It goes just wide of the post. Pablo Torre really struggling for fitness in this game, so we'll bring in Calderon. Elsewhere, Capanuana booking scares me, so we'll bring in Corridor. And Bryan Gil has not had the best of games. I'm going to bring in Jonathan Martinez. I'm going with the triple sub early. And I'm going to hope that we can make something happen in what remains of this game. 28 minutes. I feel like Martinez's pace is very, very kind of good. I think Calderon's creativity is decent. I feel like Calderon we've not talked about as much this year because Pablo's kind of come back in and just been a nailed-on starter. Calderon's not really played quite as much. Made plenty of appearances on off the bench in the league, but a rare chance for him to shine in a live commentary. It's his time to shine. Can he do it for us? Tonali, corner, whipped in. Galarreta's there. Ederson collects. That was a pretty good chance, wasn't it? The free header for the Argentine defender. Well held by the keeper. I'm hoping there is more to this highlight. I'm hoping we can bring the ball forward once more. Avramidis hits it from range. Ederson. Relatively straightforward save there. Kind of disappointing that we're even shooting from there, really. 5 minutes left in this game. I really want to go more attacking, but I'm just scared we leave ourselves exposed. We've been the better team, I think, on the balance of play throughout this game. Maybe I'm a tiny bit biased. We've not really crafted enough clear-cut opportunities in this game. Pablo looked to leggy before we took him off. Brian Hill hasn't had the best of games. Players who I think we rely on their creativity to shine have not shown up. Still 5 minutes for maybe a player to show that spark and that creativity, but it needs to come sooner rather than later. Calderon, the youngster, to Zivkovic in the wide area, the right back. Options inside, including corridor. And, Zivkovic with some space. Dinks in, Avramidis back post, and that is what we needed. Not sure I would have backed Zivkovic to be the man to find a pass to unlock the defence, but Avramidis, he swapped his wing. He's back in his natural habitat, cutting in on his right foot. On this occasion, he's got his header on it. Really nice build-up play. Calderon and also Corridor there, really involved in the build-up play, and the switch of Avramidis going onto the opposite wing seems to have had the desired effect. And straight into another highlight. I'm not sure if that's what I wanted to see or not, to be honest. I mean, if we get a second goal, great. We will have turned around the deficit very quickly, but I wouldn't hold it against Man City to just score right away. And they do so via Locatelli. And that's a second away goal. That is going to make the second leg significantly more difficult. When we went down against Benfica last time out, I could hold on to the shred of hope, the crumb of comfort. At least it was away from home for the first leg. This leg here, we've been completely blown out. We really haven't. We've had twice as many expected goals as them. I'd argue that we've played the better of the team. Sadly for us, we've not put the ball in the back of the net. That was Kapanu's 100th game for the club. That is not one that he is going to want to remember. Just a very disappointing performance by the entire team there. We really didn't get going, and it's going to be a mighty tough ask now to make it through. Sandro Tonali loses against his former club. I feel sorry for him. Son Heung-min wants Avramidis at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I mean, can we not? Can we not? He's just scored for us. He's playing very, very well. He doesn't need to go to Tottenham. He can achieve everything he wants for his career here, I swear. So you can see here the second leg against Man City is a week away. We're going to go straight forward to that. Valencia, in the meantime, in fifth is not an easy game. It's a game I do expect us to win, though. And we've got to have our eyes on the prize, get our head in the games. We've got to go to Etihad, or the Etihad, and make a comeback. That is a big ask. Let's see how we get on. My, oh my, how the tables have turned. Barcelona losing to Real Madrid in midweek. That gave us the opportunity to go to the top of the table. Did we do it? No, we didn't. We didn't. We drew. We drew against Valencia. I rotated the team for this game. I wanted to prioritise the Man City game. I put out a team that I thought was still capable of getting the win for us. In the end, it wasn't. What I would say is we dominated this game against Valencia without scoring. So, good news, we are still unbeaten, and we're only 1 point now behind Barcelona. The bad news, we could have been top of the table with a win there, and that might have been our opportunity to catch Barcelona blown. What it does mean for the league table is the top three teams are now separated by a single point with 5 games left of the year. It feels like it's going to go down to the wire. You can also see here we qualified for the Champions League with that result. £85 million in the bank. How much have I been given to spend? 24 million. Alfredo Perez is something else with the way he's running this club. You can see here the wage budget's in a really good spot, though. We've got loads of money to spend. Wage budget's nice. And, of course, worth reiterating, the stadium that is being built is going to be done in this summer. And we're going to be moving to that new ground for next year. Hopefully that is going to open up some new revenue streams, higher attendances. And off the back of all of that, we're going to be making a lot more money and maybe a little bit more money to spend going forward. Now, of course, we've got bigger fish to fry before we worry about the La Liga lot, because I want to take down Man City, and it's going to be bloody difficult. We're away from home for this second leg. We've lost that first leg 2-1. In terms of the team for today's game, I want to play Capanu, but actually he's had a knock. So Corridor is going to start in the ball-winning midfielder position for us. Elsewhere, I'm bringing Jonathan Martinez back into the team. Brian Hill played that last game, and he really hasn't performed well in his last 5 games. Martinez, by comparison, has had some really good run of form. I'm hoping that bringing him in today, he's going to be able to put in a top-class performance for us out on the right-hand side. That also means that Avramidez can go out onto the left, which is one of his best positions, if you ask me. It's where he scored from in that first leg. Hoping he can do more of the same. The defence is unchanged. It's a good defence, I think. I look at the likes of Perez and how he's got on in his first year, continuing to improve the 20-year-old, alongside players like Velez and Galarreta, and then, of course, Zivkovic at right back, and then Ramadani in goal. And, it's the best defence in La Liga, and it's a good young defence as well that I kind of just want to leave unsettled at this point. I did have to rotate it in midweek, but for the big games like this one, it kind of just picks itself. We will be hoping that Ramadani, by the way, can have a equally heroic performance to the one he had last year in the Champions League knockouts. Of course, he kept some mental clean sheets. We're going to need that from him today, but also a little bit more from our players going forward. And I think it'd be safe to say we are underdogs. I don't think there's any denying that at this point. In terms of their team, there is no... I can't say his name. There is none of that man. I guess he got injured between the games. Or maybe they're rotating him. Maybe they're showing me that level of disrespect. Can you imagine? I mean, if they've not got Erling... Maybe we have a good chance of winning. We'll see. I mean, that seems like an ambitious mindset at best. But no, we'll give it our best shot. You can see here how they're lining up with their 4-3-3. Skip, Locatelli, Neves. It's a solid midfield. Sterling on a booking early looks good. What also looks good, actually, is the fact that we're hanging in there at the moment. We don't look outclassed yet. 25 minutes gone. We finally have our first highlight. Sadly for us, it might be some defending needed from us as Aimé whips it into the box. Velez heads it away to Pablo, though. That was not a good pass by Pablo, though. Gives the ball away in a critical area. They're now bringing the ball forward. Back with Ruben Neves. He squares it to Locatelli. That was a really good finish. I wish my centre mids could do that. He smashes it into the top corner like it's not a big deal. Last year we lost in this stadium, and we lost, and you might remember, it was that Ruben Neves effort from range late on in the second half. There was like a dagger through my heart. Locatelli on this occasion cushions it in on his instep into that top corner. And, well, we had to score 2 goals in this game no matter what. But the issue is now we're just scoring 2 goals to try and take it to extra time. The gauntlet is laid. We need to step up. And statistically, we're in it. Unfortunately, we've not scored. And as the half went on, Man City definitely grew into it. They got that goal, and that definitely changed the complexion of the tie. I'm going to throw a water bottle and say I'm not happy. Pablo Torre is in tears. It's okay. I know how to get rid of his tears. You give him some candy. You say, look, Pablo, it's going to be okay. And we move. Right, I think we need to go more attacking here already. Which might be premature, but there comes a point in the season where I think you have to stop being so cautious, and I think that moment is now. I'm going to move Corridor forward. We're going to go to a more traditional 4-2-3-1. We are going to play, I think, with double inside forward. Do you know what? Martinez, I know you're right-footed, but you can run. And that's kind of what we need. We could actually play him as an inverted winger. Maybe inverted winger's better. You know what? I've not used inverted wingers enough this year. We'll use one here. I'm not sure if that's good logic or a good reason to play a player in that role. But it's the logic I'm going with. As with half an hour left, nothing's happening. I mean, they've not had anything in this second half. They've not really done anything, but equally we've not done a great deal. Avramidez has taken a knock, so we'll bring in Brian Hill. In terms of the rest of the team, Torre, I mean, his legs have just gone. He's our kind of big player, and on the big stage I need him to perform. He has vanished across the 2 legs today. We'll bring in Calder on in his place. Confirm those changes. I'm already pretty attacking. I'm going to have to go more attacking. We need 2 goals in 10 minutes to take it to extra time. And I'm going to take off Martinez for Mark as well. Good suggestion. I was about to change stuff and then a highlight literally began at the exact same moment. We'll wait and see what happens here. Raheem Sterling to Van Houston, Bernardo Silva, Oliver Skipp. If we want to make the comeback, we need a goal now. And, well, we are committing men up the field. So our wingers are not tracking back. And that was very simple, wasn't it? I mean, what an awful way to just kind of have the Champions League fizzle away from us. We've not put up a fight today. I almost feel like I want to refund the fans, and I want to refund you your time as Racing fans who watch this. If you're someone who comes here just to watch me suffer, well, you're having a great time right now. But to those of you who came into this with expectation, thinking that a Champions League run was on the cards, it's not going to happen. I know there's a highlight. We might score 1. We need 3 goals in the next 3 minutes. That just doesn't happen very often. I mean, could it? Brian Hill? Options? Brian can't beat his first man with the cross. And sadly for us, no matter how competitive we are in the league, we're going to struggle to be competitive with a team like Manchester United with a wage budget of 1.1 million. We are still a small fish in a big pond. A small fosh. Oh dear, my mind has just completely gone. I'm just sad, everyone. I mean, don't make it 5-1 on aggregate. That would just be embarrassing. I mean, the only silver lining to all of this is, unlike last year where we exited the Champions League and that was kind of it, at least kind of this time around, there's still the league to battle it out for. There's still the league to try and do more in. And we could still win La Liga. And now we can focus on La Liga, right? Right. I mean, Atleti and Barcelona have gone through. They're going to be busy playing their games now. But yeah, after the first leg, that was always going to be a tall order. Sadly for us, we're not quite Champions League winning calibre yet, I'm afraid to say. There is a little way to go, I think, until we're truly there. But considering our budgets, considering our constraints, it wasn't too bad, right? Right, I'm trying to remain positive here. One other good bit of news, actually, that I'll mention now because we need some positive news. Pina has pre-agreed to a new contract at the end of the year. It's going to be a 5-year extension with a giant minimum release clause. Now, it is £120,000 a week, which is a big rise, but it is also Pina. So I'm sure you can all understand why I've decided to make that decision to extend his contract by another 2 years on what he already had and give him that pay rise. I want this man to be the player we build around. And, well, hopefully we're going to win many La Ligas with him. In terms of next episode, it's going to be an end of the league season episode. And in terms of the matches that we're going to do, I mean, I'm looking here and realising that we've got Atleti, Valladolid and Villarreal, who are all relatively tricky games. So what I'm going to suggest is that next episode we do them as a triple header. And then the next episode will be Las Palmas and Granada if we need them. I mean, we could completely bottle things before then. But we do Las Palmas and Granada and then the end of season wrap up. I think that's the way to do things. Look, we're in a title race with 5 games left of the year. You want to see all 5 games. I want to live com all 5 games. I feel like we've focused so much this season on all the big matches against the big boys. It'd be nice to show you what we can do against some of the littler teams. You know, like that game against Real Madrid where we won 7-0. The Elche 6-0. I mean, whether or not we can have a result quite that emphatic to end the year remains to be seen. I realise my face has been in the way. Editing Jack, move my face across when we're talking about the fixtures. You can move it back now. Thank you, mate. Right, gang, that's the plan. I hope you're ready. I think I am. I mean, we have to be more ready than we were previously. We've got an international break. We're going to go away on holiday, reflect, recoup, and come back stronger. The end of the season is going to be big. I want to win the title. Can we do it? Can't we do it? I'll see you tomorrow to find out.